Welcome or welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Toya Carroll and I'm a licensed mental health therapist in the states of California, Illinois, and Missouri. And today I bring you back into my kitchen so I can show you how I make one of my herbal healing teas. Now, I like to make teas because they have a lot of benefits. I use a lot of natural herbs or dried herbs when I use them. And I like to try to heal my body, heal my kids' body, my family's bodies in natural ways. We do sometimes have to take medication, but if I can take a good tea in lieu of medication or in addition to medication to not take as much medication, sign me up for that. So one of my kiddos had some type of allergic reaction to either something that they ate or something that they put on their body. So I am here to make a tea that's going to help combat a lot of those symptoms that they are experiencing. These are the ingredients I'll be using today. I have yarrow tea that is going to be good for fighting against the skin inflammation that she has. I have my red clover right here. Red clover is going to be good in boosting her immune system. I have elderberry as well as ginger. My last few slices of ginger. If I had more ginger, please believe I would definitely add more, but that's the last that I have in my fridge. But ginger as well as the elderberry, both excellent for anti-inflammatory properties. And then my stinging nettle, which helps flush out the toxins. I am going to also be adding my blueberries because they will provide that extra boost of antioxidants that is needed. And then I have my blueberry wild child tea, which I say is just my taste good tea, but don't get me wrong, this has a lot of good properties in it. It even has a mixture of different herbs, including elderberry, so it has its own nutritional benefits. As you see me make more teas, you might see me repeat some of these same herbs that you see in front of you, simply because I just mentioned the benefits of why I'm putting it in this tea based off of my daughter's symptoms today. If there is a cold or a flu or, sometimes a hard time sleeping, I'll make a nice nighttime tea. These do have different beneficial properties and uses, but that's why I'm using them today for the reasons that I mentioned. So let me show you how I make my herbal teas. Okay. So my ginger has been boiling now for probably about 10 minutes or so. So I turned it all the way down on low, barely got a flame, ginger still in, and I'm about to add my herbs. I always use 1/8 cup of every herb except for my blueberry wild child. I normally add 2/8 cups for that, but I add that towards the end. Right now, I'm about to add 1/8 cup of my stinging nettle, my red clover, my elderberry, and my yarrow. I'm gonna get a spoon so I can stir it up. This is gonna steep for about 20 minutes. I'm not gonna bother it once I'm done stirring it. I'm gonna let it just steep for about 20 minutes. Then we're gonna come back. I'm gonna take it off of the heat. I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes, just long enough to cool for me to put it in my jars. I'm gonna show you in a moment the jars that I already got prepped for when this cool and is ready to be transferred. Again, the last 5 to 8 minutes before I turn it completely off, that's when I'm gonna add my blueberry wild child. You'll see me do it. I'm gonna add 2/8 of a cup of my blueberry wild child, as well as the rest of my blueberries. All right. So while I have my herbs over there steeping, again, they're gonna steep for a total of 20 minutes, maybe no more than 23, because after about 15 minutes of steeping, I'm gonna go back over there. I'm gonna add my blueberry wild child. I'm gonna add my fresh blueberries, and I'm gonna add my fresh lemon so it can steep for the last 5 to 7 minutes with everything else that I have added over there. I did already prep my jars. Once it gets finished, once I finish steeping it and I turn it off and it cools enough to be transferred over to my jars, these are the jars I'm gonna use. I got fresh blueberries, lemon, and a cinnamon stick inside. So see you back in about 25 minutes. All right, so even though it hasn't been a full 25 minutes yet, it's actually only been about 15 minutes, maybe about 18 minutes. It's still steeping really on low. I'm about to add my last ingredient so it can steep the last 5 to 10 minutes. Starting with my blueberry wild child. I'm at the end of it. I'm definitely gonna have to get some more this weekend, but it's enough to do my 2/8 cup. I'm gonna fill this back up this weekend. My lemons, and I've already picked out majority, if not all, of my seeds. And of course, always wash your lemons and fruit before you put it in. And my blueberries. I did wash these. All right, stir that up. Last 5 to 7 minutes, letting it steep, and then I will be back to pour it in jars. All right, we are back to finish the process of making these teas. The tea is done. As you can see, it looks absolutely wonderful. It smells really good, and it's going to taste really good once you put it in a cup and add some honey to it. Now, I always use raw, unfiltered honey when I am using honey for anything to kind of sweeten up my drinks. I don't put this in though until I'm ready to actually drink the tea. So I'll put that to the side. That'll be for a cup of tea that I have later tonight. What I do now is drain the tea. I got to get all the herbs out of the tea so it can be transferred over to the glass jars. So I have my strainer, I have my bowl, and what you're going to see is I'm going to do this process 2 or 3 times to make sure I get everything, all the little pieces out of the tea. Do want to say that before you start drinking herbal teas, if you haven't already indulged in herbal teas, you're trying to, a certain herb for the first time, especially if you're taking medication, please be aware that certain herbs can have an adverse effect when paired with certain medications. So I always do your research first if I was you. Make sure it's safe to be drinking or consuming certain herbs. Can never hurt to talk to a doctor first, of course, just to make sure that, the herbs that you're consuming are indeed safe and won't have, some type of counter reaction with medication that you're taking. This particular tea is really good for anti-inflammatory and immune boosting. I did add lemon and cinnamon to my jars. Lemon, it aids in the digestive system, again, to release toxins. We release toxins in 4 ways: through our breaths, through our urination, our defecation, and our sweating. So anything that can help our body digest and rid ourselves of toxin and waste is good to have. So I added some lemon in there. And then I also added cinnamon in there as well. Cinnamon is another great antioxidant to be able to consume. So went on and threw that in there. But let's go ahead and drain the tea. So this is clean again. I just rinsed it all out in the sink. I'm going to strain it again. I drained it again. I'm going to do one more strain. That's pretty good. There's nothing else left. Now I get to transfer it to my jars. So now I have my 2 jars ready with my healing teas. I did label them healing tea, anti-inflammatory and immune boosting. And my kiddo that had the allergic reaction, I'm going to make sure she gets at least half a jar, if not more. This tea right here, just based off of the research I did with some of the herbs that I put in there, many of the herbs you can have up to 2 or 3 cups per day. So I'm going to make sure that she consume her 2 or 3 cups for the next few days, just to fight whatever infection or whatever was going on, or whatever reaction she had, get all of those toxins out of her body. So these are my healing teas. So thank you for watching. Feel free to explore some teas if you like drinking tea. My kids used to hate tea, but the more I explored making them and ways to make them taste really good, now all of them, they really love the teas that I make. Again, if you take medications, make sure that you consult with your doctor or do your own research or both to make sure that the herbs that you're consuming doesn't affect the medication that you take or affect you in an adverse way. And Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, like, and share if you feel like this can be helpful for someone else. Be blessed.